beautiful performance. Mabukura, all good evening, how are you all? My name is Coco Yu. I worked here a long time ago. As you can tell by this. Kalau mabukura, bukan gabangan, yang gabangan, mana gabangan, bola gabangan. Jadi jangan yang gurit, kalau guria, jangan lihat yang berburu. It is good that it all come from north, south, east, west. We welcome you and we are happy that you are here in this country. Yang berburu lihat jangan jangan bangran. Manja buru jangan Nulungu korikon. Enak naga jono. Bapa kalau rupu beda, kim beda. Kalau mabu, ingat banda, bapa kalau jalan, ingat langala. This evening we remember and celebrate the many years of education Nulungu College has given to children of Broome and Kimberley. Thank you to all of you who have dedicated your lives to educating our children. Yang ada jalan jalan medanya wamber jangan. Yang ada jalan nyambo boro. Yang ada jalan bapa karai, yang ada jalan nyambo boro yarangan. Yang ada jalan gue ada jalan. Kodi nyambo boro. Nali mambo boro ni. Jalan nyari. We tell the old people that we will take care of the country. We will tell our children to care for your country. We ask you to care for your country while you are here, because this country, it welcomes us all. So we must take care of it. This is the land of the Yaru people, always and forever. Kalamabu.
Thank you so much, Coco, for that beautiful welcome to country. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Carol Bell. I'm the current principal here at St Mary's College, and it's my distinct pleasure this evening to welcome you all to our formal reception in celebration of 50 years of the Ministry of the Christian Brothers here in Kimberley and the foundation of Nulungu College. It's so wonderful to have so many of our past staff members, Christian brothers, sisters, current staff, past students here with us tonight. I think for me, and I promise I'm not going to talk for very long because we have quite a bit to get through in this little reception. I think for me, in my third year as principal here at St Mary's College, what struck me most is the tapestry of story that this college is founded on. Right back, we look now at a beautiful, vibrant community that goes from pre-K, with our Armour playgroup, all the way through to year 12. And we offer so much here at the college, both on our primary and secondary campuses. And the legacy that has built what we see today is immense. And it is interwoven. And while our lens is especially focused tonight on the ministry of the Christian Brothers, we know that they had plenty of help from community, from our Ladies of the Mission sisters, from the St. John of God sisters, from the Loretto sisters, in administering that ministry. And that's the tapestry that strikes me. Interwoven our Catholic story, those beautiful charisms from those religious orders, the story of our Aboriginal people and customs and cultures and traditions, and our modern story of development and expansion and regeneration. And that's the wonderful place that we find ourselves today. Monsignor Paul mentioned the fact that in the 90s, the secondary campus got down to as low as 81 students. And today we have 380 students. So it's amazing. In the whole school, we have 850 students from kindy all the way through to year 12. So the future is bright, and hope-filled. And with the beautiful investment we've had from Catholic education in our facilities, that future looks bright going into the future. So I do want to welcome you all, but I want you to also, as we pause to reflect and remember and hear the stories of the past, think about, the many struggles and challenges. And I'm sure at times in those early days, and I'm sure Brother Peter Hardiman will tell us in the early days just how hard things were with one building and himself and the two other pioneers that started the college. And yet here we are today, 50 years later on our secondary, over 100 years of our primary legacy, with this beautiful school that administers so much to the local Broome community and has a big future ahead of it. So thank you all so much to our special guests. Brother Peter's already introduced specifically the sisters and the brothers that have travelled to be with us today. I would also like to welcome Monsignor Paul and Father Patricio and Father Alexis, who are our local administrators. Monsignor Paul's our administrator here of the Broome Diocese, and Father Alexis is our parish priest, and Father Patricio, our local priest. So warm welcome to them who've joined us today. I'd also like to welcome Diana Jans, who is representing Catholic education here in Broome. Felicity Sykes, who's come from Notre Dame University to be with us today from our Broome campus. Panda Gardner, who is a fellow principal from Martin Dupoy's Catholic School, just down the road, and also past principal Tony Tracy. I'd like to also acknowledge and welcome the current leadership team of St Mary's College. Amy Hyatt, our business manager, Kobe Radigan, the Deputy Principal of Primary, Lee Wilson, the Deputy Principal of Curriculum on Secondary, and Sarah Gardner, the Deputy Principal of Pastoral Care. And along with those ladies, a special mention and thank you to all of the staff who've made tonight happen. These things don't happen by accident, and I'm not going to start naming them individually. They're all here tonight. They've worked tirelessly to make this beautiful evening come together. So from my heart, thank you so very much for all the work that you've put in to bringing tonight together as we celebrate our story. So you'll see up here on the screen we have this beautiful PowerPoint, and it's a lot of the photos that are out on the boards as well. And this PowerPoint will just continue to roll through and screen through as we go through our proceedings tonight. And in this lovely facility, it's so beautiful to see the pictures up there that tell their own story, and I'm sure lots of you have the memories attached to those photos. And I'm sure many of those memories and stories will be shared tonight as we go on. So that's enough from me. You're also very welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We're very honoured and very privileged to have you all with us as we celebrate tonight. And I'd now like to hand over to our first speakers for the evening, Brother Jeff Whitefield and Brother Peter Hardiman. Please come forward.
Thank you, Carol. So to begin, I pay my respects to the ancestors and the elders and the up-and-coming new generations of the original people of this part of the world. And our own ancestors too, the brothers that have been here and are no longer with us. It's a delight and a real privilege to be here to thank you for the wonderful hospitality and the warmth of your welcome to us brothers. This is my very first visit to Broome. The rest of the brothers here have been connected in a way, but this is my first visit and it's been a delight. And I also bring the greetings of Brother Gerard Brady, who is the province leader for the brothers throughout Oceania. we've really enjoyed your hospitality, and that really speaks about the wonder of this community, the Catholic community. The brothers came here 50 years ago, but they joined an evolving story that had been already evolving for a long, long time, and had been started by a whole lot of other people. Carol mentioned the word charism, and hopefully that's the little special thing that the brothers have been able to bring in the way that they have related to the people here at Broome and in the Kimberley. And we might even boil that down to 3 words: being present to you and to each other, showing and living compassion, and liberating, hopefully bringing freedom about. And if those 3 seeds have grown into this community, then the brothers will have done a great job in their 50 years. So it's time for me to quickly now hand over to a living relic of those 50 years, wonderful brother Peter Hardy.
Thank you, Jeff. This was sprung on me a bit, so pardon my hesitation at times. But I can see Pearlie have a gushy there in the front row. And I can just say how privileged we were to have people of her quality helping us out in those very early days. She was foundation stone, if you like, of West Block. And while I was teaching words and colour, she'd be keeping the kids going on their reading and stuff like this. Also, so many other people. What was Mrs. Brealey's name? Sue Brealey. All right, she was another one in the primary school in those days. Fantastic. Now tonight, during the sign of peace, I turned to the person next to me and I said, Maxie! And I've been sitting with him with his beard and everything else. I had no idea who he was. But somehow when you say, peace be with you, the names pop out. Patrick, is that you? Terrific. It is wonderful. People like David Phillips and some of the others who came. Mr. Darwin, what's his name? Sally's son? Right? Ed Jahari, and so on. Now, it was really a two-way partnership. You might have thought that I was teaching you, but you were teaching me far more. In fact, the first day we arrived, we came across the bush area, and we got to the undercroft, and here you were giggling and just about on the ground with laughter when you saw Tom Roberts, big broad man, Nick Billings, this great high fella, and little old me. And now it's just so lovely to see the 3 rocks there today. Lord, I didn't know how they got there. Nobody had told us. So a conspiracy there makes the mistake even more. I have to pay tribute especially to people like Paddy Rowe. If you'll excuse my using their names, but it is out of respect. Paddy Rowe was definitely my mentor. And when I put my hand up to join the National Theatre Foundation and helped to do some of the spade work to enable dancers and all of that to carry on, who will forget when Tommy Edgar and Paddy Rowe did their dance trying to steal the mask off one another? It was fabulous. And I think that mask is in the staff room even now, so the administration area. Look, I won't carry on. But I just have to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I might even use Yolongo words, salamat kid. And I used to always put a few other kids in, kid meaning very. Salamat kid, They'd laugh at me for doing that, but I can't. I'm a little bit on the exaggeration side. So, thank you for everybody for coming. Thank you for making this college the unique and beautiful college that it is today. I just cannot get over it. This is the greatest school in the world. And I never exaggerate. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Good on you.
Thank you so much, Brother Peter Hardiman and Brother Jeff Whitefield. I'd now like to introduce a past student of Nulungu College to come and give a little address about his memories of being a student here, and I know he needs no introduction to most of you here. So I'd like to invite forward John Jackie from the class of 1971. Please come.
It's always a challenge to do public speaking, even though I've done it several times. The leg still shakes, it's amazing. If Monsignor Paul was still here, I'd like to say Monsignor Paul, and Father Brian McCoy, Father Alexis, and Father Fratisio, is it? Yeah. I haven't met Fratisio obviously, but yeah, and all the clergy, and also all the nuns that have come. I bumped into Helena at Coles. Oh, it wasn't. It was at the news agency. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And also I acknowledge Principal Carol Bell. Thank you for the trial. I'd also like to acknowledge the young people, past, present, and emerging. And I'd also like to acknowledge past principals. Brian Cleary's here, Brother Kevin Ryan. Had a bit to do with Kevin Ryan after Brother Kevin Ryan after when I grew up and became an adult, briefly. Brother Hardiman, I hope you didn't learn too many bad habits from those words like Rodney Raman and Datu. But look, the impact that Nulugu had on me was amazing because I was terrified of going to the government school, the state school, for a number of reasons. I was a kid that lived at the back of the meatworks in the early days, and then in 1970 or 69, 70, we managed to get a native welfare housing, and that was the only time we were allocated housing. And we got it on the corner of Laura Street and Lewis Street. And I became very close to the Roll family, obviously Patty and Ronnie and all the mission blokes, that you know. I got very close. I spent a fair bit of time with them. So we were like the backstreet kids. But the reason why I wanted to come to Nulungu and the impact it had on me, that I ended up repeating year 7 to come to Nulungu. So that's how much I wanted to come to Nulungu at that time, that I repeated year 7. Look, classrooms I've always been challenged in classrooms. I'm not a classroom type learner. I'm more of a visual and hands-on type learner. But the impact and the traditions and the values from the Edmund Rice family members that came here and shared with us did have a profound effect on me, and I guess in some ways I can be considered as a St. John of God student, the nuns from St. John of God's, because that's where started go to school in my primary years, and then I finished off my secondary years here when I went and completed year 10 at Nulugu. And Rodney Rahman reminds me that I was the first bloke to get a driver's license, so there you go. So I was one of the older students. Look, the impact, I talked sideways, I talked to you, Peter Hardiman. I saw the three of you that came. It was you taught the music, and you told us and showed us all how to play the recorder. Unfortunately, I let you down literally. I was never quite good at it, but I did turn up to most of the classes. I wasn't like Dutch or Rodney and hid in the bushes. I did show up. You guys should have sat in front. But tennis, you introduced us to tennis. Now, tennis is not a game that local Aboriginal community was involved in. How you managed to break down those barriers and get us to be able to play tennis was amazing. There was a challenge. You not only had the challenge of teaching us, but the challenge of breaking down barriers in the community was great. And I recall Timmy Howard being one of our best tennis players. I don't know, he was in my eyes anyway one of the best that I can recall. Thanks to you for that one. The thing was with Nulungu, it was a community, and I wanted to be in a community where I knew the families and the kids. I wanted to be in a school where kids from 1 mile were coming here, from Indian Territory, from Kennedys Hill, from Burunum. So I wanted to be with those kids. That's the reason why I came to Nulungu, because there were kids that were in St. Mary's as well. And then later on, when the kids came from the communities from the peninsula, from my mob, the Bari going mob, when they came in from the peninsula. And then when the mob from Gurrajali country came in, from Bidanga, and they came to school, and then from the Jarraballan, and those boys came in. So it was, I felt at home. I felt like it was a community. And then we had Pearlie, was one of the first. I never had the opportunity or the privilege to have Pearlie in my class. And obviously we had, Scarlett Crispin. She was Charlotte. She was also, there you go, the memory's fading. I'm 63 now and semi-retired. Well, my wife says I'm retired. So. But coming through here has given me the leg up or the platform or the scaffolding to be able to achieve what I've managed to achieve, from walking in the bush to being able to have a place of my own that I can call home. And I'm back in the bush now, so we live out of 12 Mile. And I'm trying to be a farmer, which I didn't pay enough attention to at some of the things that we did. And I just started to grow some cabbage. Hopefully that will take it, and I've already lost 10 trees, and I don't have the guts at the moment to tell Kim Coordinator that I can tell my trees as part of the schools. But you were our music teacher, and you were, in terms of tennis, that's what was profound for me. Nick Village was the architect, he was the designer, he was the construction man, he was we built the first basketball court, and we were just walking past there and saying that I built that. I was part of the building of the first basketball court. And Nick was the artist, and I'm sure now when I reflect back to my time and what I'm doing in my so-called semi-retirement or retirement stage, there's a lot of building that I could have focused on, and I'm trying to reflect back and think back to all those technical design courses or programs that we did. I should have paid more attention. Unfortunately, hopefully I was a good student. I'm not quite sure. I'll leave that for you to reflect on. But well, now that I've got the lecture and I'm up here, I was the first captain of the school. That can be debated later on. And Tom Roberts was more the academia side of things. And the other thing he did was garnering the community, and the opportunity that he put an A grade year 10, 15-year-olds in the men's competition, and we basically slaughtered the opposition. It was just amazing. And I remember playing a US Navy ship when they came in, and someone said, "Oh, you can play these students." And we also trounced him by 100 and something points to 12 or 14. So it was just a platform that someone like me needed. Someone, with the opportunities that I've learned, the opportunities that and the networking that I've had with Christian Brothers has been fantastic, and it's been a privilege to have been involved with the three of you, particularly with the three of you when you came up. We also got, my wife Janine and I have a younger son, Jaron, and we were given an opportunity at Trinity College, and that was again through the connections of the Negus twins. They were real humbug. But the opportunity to know them was, and to have that connection with them allowed us to get our son into Trinity, and also I also worked there as well. So my life has been a really full circle with Catholic education from my primary years at St. Mary's through to Nulungu, and then all my kids coming through St. Mary's, and yeah. I just want to thank you, really. I really want to thank you for taking on that challenge, for coming to Broome, and particularly for giving me that opportunity to do my high school here. So it's a pleasure to have known you, to have known the other two as well, Tom Roberts and Nick Village, and then to connect with the other brothers during my time in travel and space that I've been able to do all that. Thank you all. I don't want to keep you up. Keep you if you want.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for those beautiful memories. Gorgeous. It was so lovely to just sit and listen to all those beautiful memories that you have, and you know, as a representative of that very first class to come here to Nulungu College. You speak of those things from the heart and how they've shaped your life, and I know there will be many, many people who've been through this college and who've had the influence of the brothers on their journey who would say very, very similar things. So thank you so much for being here tonight and for sharing your memories and your experience with us. I'd now like to call forward two remarkable women who have been part of the tapestry of not only Nulungu College but also St. Mary's College. Pearl Hamaguchi began volunteering as a teacher assistant with that first class in 1971, and Carleen Smith has been with us as an ATA and Aboriginal teacher assistant since 1980. And they're going to give me a hand now to present a gift from the college to the brothers. And so if I can ask those two lovely ladies to come forward. Where are they? Pearl and Carly. You're going to help me do the unveiling. And if I can get you ladies just to stand either side of these lovely blue covered paintings over here. We're trying to work out how to do this, so bear with us while we do this. So I'd like to invite Brother Jeff and Brother Peter Hardiman forward again as representatives of the Christian Brothers. If you guys could come forward. And basically what we want to do is we've had two beautiful paintings or drawings commissioned as a gift to the Christian Brothers in thanks for their wonderful work and the legacy that they've left behind, that started from such humble beginnings and such challenge with not a lot of money and a whole lot of hardship. And just a special thank you from St. Mary's College to you for that legacy and for being a part of our story and giving so much to this community. So these two works of art commissioned from Tony Tracy, a former principal here at the college, and I have to say they are just beautiful. So if I could ask Pearl and Carleen just to unveil the paintings so that we can all see and present them. Yeah. So we do hope that these just little memories of not only from us at St. Mary's, but also from your time in the Kimberley, and these beautiful works of art that Tony has put together in his retirement from teaching and principalling. Such a beautiful. Thank you so much. So we'll work out how we're going to get those with you all the way back to Adelaide and Melbourne and all of the places that you go. But yes, so thank you very much. You can find over who's having one. So we'll just leave them there, and people are more than welcome to come and have a look. They are fabulous. That brings to a conclusion the formal part of this evening. I'm so very pleased that we are bang on time to bring the event, the formal part of this evening, to a close. Two of our past students from the graduating class of 2019 are going to perform for you. They're currently studying. They're actually doing a great job. They're in here student teaching and studying. Studies and plans have been interrupted. OC was off to Sydney for dance with the academy over there with Indigenous dance, and unfortunately those plans have been paused because of COVID. And so they're with us here studying Cert 3 in dance, and will perform for you tonight. So following this performance, I invite you all to come out onto the grass area just in front. We've got a beautiful barbecue dinner ahead, and you can have a look at the memory boards. And of course, hopefully stick around for a little while and share some of your beautiful memories. So I'll just hand over to the girls. Thank you so much.
We will call this place our home, the dirt in which our roots may grow. Though the storms will push and pull, we will call this place our home. We'll tell our stories on these walls. Every year measure how tall, and just like a work of art, we'll tell us bread, give us salt, give us wine. A little broken, a little new. We are the impact and the glue, capable of more than we know. We call this fixer our home. With each year our color fades, slowly our pain chips away. But we will find the strength and the nerve it takes to repaint and repaint and repaint every day. Like the years were here, be kind, be kind. Let our hearts like doors open wide, open wide. Settle our bones like wood. Over time, give us bread, give us salt, give us wine. Let the years were here, be kind, be kind. Let our hearts like doors open wide, open wide. Settle our bones like wood. Over time, give us bread, give us salt, give us wine. Give us bread, give us salt, give us wine. Smaller than dust on this map lies the greatest thing we have. The dirt in which our roots may grow, and the right to call it home.
That brings to a conclusion tonight, folks. Please join us now for dinner outside, and we will also have a few of our students performing with some musical items. So please come and join us. Thank you so much for being here.